Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, many people travel from all over to get a little certain sound. And to talk about that sound is Dan Hodges from Johnny Appleseed. Welcome, Dan.
You know what? I love being here. And this is one of my very favorite bugs. We're talking about cicadas today. Some people call them locusts. It's kind of a colloquial term. Locust is usually grasshoppers. These cicadas are true bugs in the order Hemiptera, if you want to impress your friends. But these guys are such interesting animals. First of all, there's two kind of groups of cicadas. One of them is called the periodical cicadas. You may have heard them in the news. You may have talked about them. They had a couple of broods that came out recently. These are on a 17-year cycle. They're really interesting. It's May and June when we'll talk about periodical cicadas. We don't really get them around here, at least in Allen County. We haven't gotten them. So we're not really talking about them today. We're talking about our annual cicadas.
Okay.
Now, annual cicadas, each one may have, spend a few years underground, but essentially we see them every year. That's why we call them the annual cicadas. And you know these. These are the cicadas that live in your backyard that add that ambiance to our summertime.
Yeah, so let's maybe hear what they sound like.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite is the swamp cicada there on the left. It sings often earliest in the morning. Here it is. Oh, I love it. And it gives you that kind of ambiance that tells you, it's hot. This is the dog days. Sometimes these are called the dog day cicadas. Lynn's cicada is beautiful as well. This is a little bit later in the day. Still kind of a pulsing shaker sound. Boy, I just love listening to him. And then one of my favorites, the scissor grinder cicada. Let's listen to that one too. You remember this?
Oh, yeah.
From late in the evenings? Remember when you were a kid playing in the neighborhood?
That's what I listen to on my sound machine.
Yeah, I know. But this, and they'll show these in the movies to tell you that it's a hot day. You're walking around in the heat of mid-Georgia, whatever, and they'll play these beautiful sounds that tell you that you're really out there in the heat. So these are cool animals that have a really interesting life cycle. So what they're doing, they don't sting, they don't bite, they don't claw, they don't hurt you. They just sing. That's all they want to do. They come out of the ground, they sing the most beautiful song they can find, and they sing it as loud as they can from the treetops. And that's where they're going to mate, and they're going to lay eggs in the bark of trees. And the larva will hatch out and fall to the ground to the base of the tree, and there it'll begin its underground life. And so here's a pupa that's this is emerging out of the ground, about to shed its skin. But this is kind of what they look like in the later stages of their young life. When they're babies, they look like this, and they live in the ground, underground, tunneling down there, sometimes several years. When they come out, they shed their old skin, and you may have seen these old skins on fence posts or tree trunks, and they look beautiful. So you got a cicada on one side. Let's get you a little bit of a shell on the other.
Right there,
it's really great accessorizing at your barbecue. It's called an exuvia, by the way. That exuvia makes a really wonderful decoration, and it makes you sound smart too if you tell your friends, I got exuvias in my hair today. So really a really cool animal. Cicadas, not going to bother you, not going to hurt you, just going to sing and provide that background sound for your summertime barbecue.
Now, it's like wearing a brooch, but not a roach.
Yeah, make sure you tell your friends. Not a roach.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I think it looks great. You can put them in your hair, keep pin your hair back a little bit if you need to. They're really cute little animals.
Not only do you learn about the songs, but we get the fashion.
That's
Dan.
right. That's what we're here for.
That's right. Well, Dan, thanks so much for coming in and talking about the cicadas. I appreciate it.
I love it, and we're glad to be here. Get outside, listen to these guys.
All right. Well, don't go away, because we have more when we return.